Just about 2:40 p.m. today, IMPD Southwest District officers were dispatched to a report of a person stabbed in the 3200 block of South Lockburn Street. When the officers arrived, they located two adult females outside the home with injuries consistent with trauma. They also located an adult male outside with injuries consistent with trauma. They then also located an adult male with injuries consistent with trauma inside the home, where they also located an injured animal that had injuries consistent with trauma. Animal care and control was on scene and removed the animal. That animal was serious but stable at the time. The Decatur fire was on scene. They transported three individuals to a local area hospital in critical condition. That would be two females and one male that were transported to hospitals. One male, unfortunately, was pronounced deceased here on scene. Obviously, you see a large crowd, neighborhood, community. This affects this very tight-knit community. This area knows everybody well down here. We're hoping to garner some information, and we're hoping the community comes out, steps up, has any surveillance footage, has any information, witness information, what led up to this incident, and that they could tell us what's going on, what had happened pretextually to this incident. This is very traumatic. Obviously, it's 4 people with devastating wounds. 2 of those individuals in critical, one was serious. They were transported, and you have one that's deceased here today. We do believe strongly that this is all isolated. We're working to gather the facts on how everybody is known to one another at this time. Again, we're asking the community, if you have any information, to please come forward with that information. You can contact the IMPD Homicide Unit or use that Crime Stoppers number, that 262 tips. That remains totally anonymous. Again, we need you to think about all those affected here today. 4 victims, very tragic. This community, this small community here, south of Kentucky Ave, between Mooresville, just hurting. There's children out here. This is very traumatic for them. So we need to be thinking about this community. Do you have any questions?
Well, one of the victims, or it's 4 victims, is somebody a suspect in this?
Their detectives will work through that and work to find that information out. Obviously, when you have individuals transported to a hospital in critical condition, we're unable to speak to some of them. That's why, again, we need some community members to come out and step up.
Can you say if these victims were stabbed?
It looks like there's some type of penetrating object. We're working to find out what that weapon was that was possibly used, but at this time it's trauma. The coroner's office will make the final determinations on what the cause was for the deceased, and then detectives working at the hospital, working with the medical professionals, what may have caused that and what type of injuries were sustained and from what item, right? That's what our detectives are working hard to figure out. Getting warrants for the home on the corner, all those types of things, that's what we're working on trying to figure out. Detectives have a lot ahead of them to work to figure out what caused this, what led up to this, and how we got to this point.
You had said that the male was deceased and 2 women injured. There was another man found in the house, right?
2 females and a male were outside when officers arrived. All 3 of them were transported to area hospital. The 2 females were in critical condition. The male was serious but appeared stable. Again, and then there was one other additional male. He was inside the residence and pronounced deceased.
Was the animal a dog?
I did, yes, that was a dog.
Do we know whether this happened inside the house, outside the house?
Again, it appears that some type of incident happened within and outside the house. So, again, very traumatic for neighbors, traumatic for children.
It's unclear whether this started as a domestic.
It is unclear at this time. We don't have any of that information to support that. We're working on that information. Again, those neighbors that may have some context or facts about who is at this house regularly, who these people were, we need that information. It's a tight-knit community. I worked this for several years. I know how important it is to keep this area safe when these stalwarts live in this community. So we're asking them to come out here and give us any information they can.
And so just to be clear, no weapon has been found yet that you believe to be the weapon that was
obviously, immediate medical attention was provided to that the male inside the residence, but ultimately we had to, once pronounced deceased, following right? For investigatory reasons, we have to exit the residence after we swept that, making sure cursory search that nobody's in there.